Bammy. 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 기다려.
The lights in Jungkook's apartment were soft that evening, the kind of amber warmth that made the corners of the room melt into comfort. Outside, Seoul's skyline pulsed faintly beneath the autumn haze, and millions of armies around the world were already flooding notifications with excitement. Jungkook is live. He leaned closer to the camera, dark hair slightly messy, eyes bright and playful. "Hi everyone," he said in that mellow voice that fans knew by heart. The live had begun like so many others, spontaneous, unplanned, intimate. He wore a loose black hoodie, his silver ring glinting as he waved. For the first few minutes, it was all the familiar chaos, the scrolling comments moving faster than light, Jungkook laughing at random questions, answering a few about his dinner, his music, his workout. "I just finished recording something," he teased, eyes flickering mischievously. "But you'll have to wait for it." Army spammed emojis. Someone wrote, "We'll wait forever, Jungkook," and he laughed again, that clear sound that could light up a room. The minutes drifted by with the casual charm that only Jungkook could bring. Him humming a melody under his breath, sipping from a mug, sometimes pausing to read what the fans were saying. No one expected what was about to happen next. From the corner of the frame, there was a faint scratching sound, soft but distinct. Jungkook tilted his head. "Did you hear that?" he asked with a grin. "Wait, hold on." He turned slightly, and then it happened. A large Doberman, sleek and proud, trotted into view, his tail wagging, his eyes bright with recognition. It was Bammy. The chat exploded instantly. "Is that Bammy? OMG Bammy. He's so big now." Jungkook burst into laughter. Not the polite, soft laugh of an idol during interviews, but the full, uncontrollable laughter of someone genuinely caught off guard. He bent forward, clutching his stomach. "Yeah, Bammy," he said between laughs. "You scared me." The Doberman barked once, almost proudly, as if to announce his entrance to the world stage. The moment was pure magic. Bammy sniffed around the table, nudging Jungkook's leg before attempting to climb onto his lap. Impossible, of course, given his size. Jungkook pushed gently, still laughing so hard tears welled in his eyes. He thinks he's still a puppy. The comments came faster than ever. Hearts, crying emojis, laughter. Fans from every time zone were awake now, recording the moment, taking screenshots, sharing clips. Within minutes, Bammy was trending worldwide, but the camera kept rolling. Jungkook didn't end the live. He let Bammy sit beside him, occasionally scratching the dog's head between songs. "He does this sometimes," Jungkook explained, still giggling. "Whenever I talk too long, he wants attention." Maybe he thought I was talking to someone else. Bammy, in perfect timing, barked again, a deep, rich sound that made Jungkook laugh even harder. See, he's jealous. It wasn't just funny, it was real, an unguarded window into the quiet, loving world behind the glittering stage. Across the world, fans began making short edits. One clip showed Jungkook laughing. Another zoomed in on Bammy's proud face with captions like, "Bammy entering like a superstar." Memes flooded X, formerly Twitter. Someone wrote, "Even Bammy knows Jungkook needs a break." Another said, "Give this dog a Weverse account." In just 20 minutes, the live became one of the most viewed spontaneous broadcasts of the year. Entertainment reporters woke up to headlines written by fans themselves. Jungkook, who had meant to do a short, quiet check-in, had once again gone viral. All because of his best friend with paws, still live. He looked at Bammy and smiled softly. "He's been with me since training days," he said quietly, hand resting on the dog's back. "He knows everything, even when I'm tired." There was something gentle in his tone, something that cut through the laughter. Fans listening from afar could feel it, the connection between them, the warmth of years shared in silence and comfort. "I used to walk him late at night," Jungkook continued, eyes unfocused as if seeing memories. "When everyone was asleep, just me and him under the streetlights. Sometimes I'd talk to him about songs I hadn't written yet." Bammy turned his head slightly, as if understanding. The chat slowed for a moment. Fans wrote, "This is beautiful. Jungkook and Bammy forever. We don't deserve this much softness." Jungkook chuckled again, breaking the spell with lightness. Now he's famous too, he said, pointing at the camera. Bammy, say hi to Army. The Doberman barked once more, and Jungkook completely lost it again, collapsing into laughter so contagious even the live staff behind screens couldn't stop smiling. Somewhere in the world, a fan commented, "This is the best surprise of the year." And everyone agreed. As the laughter faded, Jungkook leaned back, eyes glimmering with contentment. "I didn't plan this," he said, "but maybe it's better that way." The rest of the live became a cozy, heartfelt conversation, him talking about music, about taking care of Bammy, about how important small joys are. The dog lay at his feet, sometimes nudging his hand when he stopped petting. It wasn't just a celebrity live. It was a portrait of simplicity and love. Fans described it as the night we all felt like family. When Jungkook finally said goodbye, waving at the camera, Bammy barked again, perfectly timed, as if to echo his master's farewell. Jungkook looked at him, grinning. "Yes, you too. Say bye, Bammy." The screen faded, but the warmth stayed. That night, every news outlet picked up the story, not because of drama or gossip, but because of joy. The world, it seemed, needed that laugh. Clips from the live stream flooded every platform. On TikTok, edits layered his laughter with soft background music. On Instagram, fans posted stills of him leaning back, eyes crinkled, Bammy's muzzle pressed against his arm. The moment felt universal. No choreography, no lights, no stage, just a young man and the animal that had grown up beside him. Inside HYBE's headquarters, staff members laughed as they watched the replay. "He really didn't plan that?" one asked. The answer was obvious. Nothing about the live had been scripted. That was what made it work. Somewhere between the chaos of schedules, recordings, and world tours, Jungkook had managed to give the world something pure, a glimpse of calm. The way he laughed, open, real, without performance, became the most talked about sound of the week. Reporters tried to reach his management for a statement. HYBE's brief reply simply said, "Bammy often keeps Jungkook company." Yesterday's live was an unplanned, heartwarming moment shared between family. But for fans, it meant more than that. It felt like being led into a private circle that only love could create. That evening, Jungkook checked his phone and saw his notifications overflowing. There were millions of messages, pictures of fans watching the live with their own pets, sketches of Bammy wearing little sunglasses, fan letters saying, "Thank you for smiling today." He scrolled slowly, his lips curling into a grin. "You're famous now," he told the Doberman lying beside him. Bammy raised his head, tail thumping against the floor. "Should I make you a channel?" Jungkook joked. Bammy barked softly as if to agree. He turned on some music, low jazz echoing around the room, and thought back to the laughter that had spilled out of him. He hadn't felt that free in months. For once, the live hadn't been about performance. It had been about presence. When he looked down, Bammy had rested his head on his knee, eyes half closed. Jungkook smiled, rubbing the dog's ears. "You did well yesterday," he murmured. "Army loves you." Outside, fans still talked about it. They wrote essays about how that small moment reminded them of balance, of gentleness, of the humanity behind fame. Some said it encouraged them to reconnect with simple joys. Others said it made them laugh for the first time in days. A few days later, during a short radio appearance, the host couldn't resist asking, "Jungkook SSI, that live with Bammy, did you expect it to blow up like that?" He chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck. "Honestly, no. I just wanted to say hi. But I guess he had other plans." The studio burst into laughter. "Bammy stole the show," the host added. "He always does," Jungkook replied. "He's my best friend. Sometimes he reminds me that happiness doesn't need to be planned." Listeners wrote in, saying the interview felt like a warm hug. The radio station's website crashed from the traffic. That night, Jungkook opened Weverse and posted a simple message. "Thanks for loving Bammy. He was happy to see everyone. Let's laugh together more often." Purple Heart. Within minutes, hundreds of thousands of replies poured in. Pictures, words, emojis, stories of pets, and friendship.